Senator from Beaufort, for what purpose do you rise?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion pursuant to Rule 22 to recall House Bill 3047 from committee. I've tried cases and argued cases across the street. I know this Constitution inside out. There's nothing inconsistent with the Constitution here. There's absolutely nothing inconsistent. And what I find ironic is that somehow the state Constitution is being used as a shield against more on-the-record votes. And I don't think the state Constitution is ever going to be interpreted in such a way by that Supreme Court as to limit the people's right to know how we vote on issues. I don't believe it.
Well, Senator Yield, I didn't say it was unconstitutional.
I find it very, very insulting to this body.
The next question is what else is going to be the fad of the moment
and defend this Constitution against a fad?
Senator from Pickens, I respectfully disagree that recorded votes are a fad of the moment. I think this is critical to representative democracy.
I think there's a legitimate difference of opinion on our parts.
I consider it a violation of my oath of office to uphold the Constitution, to vote for a ragged piece of legislation.
I would never make the argument of the representation of the Senate or to anybody else that this would be struck down as unconstitutional.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
The next time my wife asks for $50 to buy something, I'm going to say, I can't do it. And she'll say, well, I'm going to say, it's unconstitutional.
There may be arguments against and for this bill. I'm just simply wanting it on the calendar. At this time, I'll withdraw my motion.
That completes the call on uncontested statewide calendar. Senator from Beaufort, for what purpose do you rise?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion pursuant to Rule 22 to recall House Bill 3047 from committee, the Spending Accountability Act of 2009, and be heard briefly on the motion.
Senator from Beaufort is recognized. Senator from Beaufort.
Gentlemen of the Senate, a couple of things I promised my constituents when I came up here that I would do. And one of them is to support this particular House bill, which Senator Peeler also has an S11 in judiciary. Time is running short. I'd like to get it on the calendar up for debate. I realize that there's a question about constitutionality, and I've looked at the Constitution very carefully. And Article 3, Section 12 does provide that each House shall choose its own rules of procedure. I do not, in my reading of the Constitution, believe that precludes this body from passing a statute to adopt those rules. I do not believe it's unconstitutional. I think that it's important that we have as much transparency as possible. We've made some great strides in regard to rules. I think this particular bill that was passed in the House and is in judiciary now, also sponsored by Senator Peeler, would be a great step in that direction. I think this is our chance to get it on the calendar. I know we're taking up the budget in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but hopefully after we get the budget passed, this will be one of the things that we can take up, and I would respectfully move for passage of the motion. Thank you.
Senator from Pickens is recognized.
Mr. President, very briefly, because I know, Mr. President, members of the Senate, I know we don't have much time. The bill came over, I forget now exactly when, 2 or 3 weeks ago. The bill is set for a subcommittee meeting. It's the first opportunity we've had to get that meeting set. There are, as the senator from Beaufort aptly pointed out, the first constitutional issue is Section 12 of Article 3. The other constitutional issue is Section 22 that the senator from Beaufort didn't cite. Section 22 is a provision that specifically requires that 5 senators second the call. We've had one roll call after another in the uncontested call of the calendar today on bills that many of you had to say, well, look, you know, I know this came out of the committee, it's uncontested, here we are, but tell me what this bill does so I can vote intelligently. Well,